会跳那个 voguing 的 voguing， 来介绍一下，对，来 voguing， popping， 他还会跳 popping， 来 popping 来，我什么都不会，我就很爱讲话。我不会跳 hip hop， 直播组等一下要唱歌，我先跟大家交代一下，关我什么事？
在比赛开始之前，先来欢迎 UP 直播主阿奇带来精彩的开场表演，掌声欢迎他！
耶！大家全场的朋友，大家晚上好，我是 UP 直播的直播主阿奇，今天为大家开场演唱，希望大家会喜欢。 看世界在两世，你是我爱阮的心唯一的歌，无接受动情的灯火。原谅我这款冲动的人，原谅我做这款夭寿的梦。每一摆你的眼神在叮当，拢予我无法分西东。我用我的人格来保证我是永远袂后悔。 你是我目前为止的爱人内底，无疑是上水的迄个。我其实不是不愿离开，拢怪你走入了我的人生。无情的伤害，爱情已造成，你我着爱来负责任。Come on！ 更加伟大，你我我一世人最后的期待，你是我的未来，希望你会了解。 爱你爱甲白白白。我们一起拍手好不好？不是我心愿离开，拢怪你行入了我的人生。会唱吗？全部一起来好不好？爱情你比我想的搁较伟大，你给我一世人最后的期待，你是我的未来，希望你会了解。虽然讲世界，但不情难移，爱你爱甲白白白，尽管你站在，和你全部的爱，爱你爱甲白白白。祝大家有个美好的夜晚，谢谢。
各位小朋友们，晚上好！感谢我们直播组期待来热情的表演。All right， 各位现场的朋友，让我听到你们的尖叫欢呼声。Let's go Dreamer！ 我是 DJ 阿吉，欢迎壮壮，欢迎全联盟最火辣、人气最高、颜值担当的 Formosa Sexy。以及尤尼颂还有 Richard 跟大家在这个时间点迎接钢铁人的比赛，感谢所有我梦家人们回到我们最熟悉的主场，今天补班日的赛程一同齐聚球场来拿下今天重要的胜利。昨天紧张又刺激，感谢所有现场球迷的陪伴，最可以的尖叫声、加油声。你们最佳第6人的角色非常的重要，先来听到你们最大、最热情、最可以的声音。梦想家，你们大声的喊加油！准备好了，梦想家，梦想家，梦想家！耶！根据这个球场第一排主持人 Harry 所讲的，你们呢拍的越大声，运气会更好。我们离胜利就越近，所以再来听一下你们最可以的声音，一次就好了。梦想家，好的，最可以的相信，最可以的力量，我们呢一起来为球队加油。谢谢女孩，谢谢壮壮，谢谢用你手，以及谢谢 Richard。好，经过了昨天的比赛哦，我们很多人都破音了，但是这不是重点。重点是可以拿下今天重要的胜利。在此之前，我们花一点时间感谢我们的贵宾以及我们的赞助商。先把掌声送给 UP 直播的市场部的总监刘成豪总监，再一次来到我们的现场来帮我们加油。谢谢以下的指导单位：教育部体育署、台中市政府、台中运动局、彰化县政府、中华民国篮球协会。谢谢支持台新梦想家的赞助伙伴，感谢最挺篮球的好伙伴台新银行、台新人寿、台新证券、海硕集团，值得您信赖的国际海空运物流公司，排序近60年的肉品专家，联居建设好还要更好，联居建设。Numbership 亚太区最大潮流交易平台，心享科技以 VO6 电动车补电服务，补电超轻松 ，Call of Duty Warzone 2.0。决胜时刻，现代战略2.0 ，UP 直播全世界，让全世界看见你的美。进发家祖传绿豆沙 ，TT 盐征服法国的台湾面膜，曼黛玛莲川岛保养品，享受自信的内在美学。朝日堂烧肉与鸳鸯锅煮的天堂，风格美学诊所 Converse 百年美国经典品牌，秀传医疗体系，引领国际医疗专业。逢阿寡一样，少一点想要，多一样美好。最后，台北福华大饭店真诚服华心，服务最用心。再一次把掌声送给他们，感谢作为梦想家最强力的后盾，持续目光留在场中。女孩们的表演，全联盟 Plus D 最佳啦啦队 Formosa Sexy，Let's go girl yeah！耶！再次掌声送给女孩们 ，Thank you girl， Formosa Sexy。正式欢迎高雄一期直播钢铁人球员进场。Number 2号张杰伟，4号陈佑伟，10号王国志。7号林君豪，13号吕正如，14号邱国璋，18号林志伟，17号张国维。Starting five 先锋 Number 3 3号悟空 ，Gogo Madison。Number 7 7号林书豪。8号王玉祥，23号蓝少虎，55 55号克拉索夫 Vyacheslav Krasov。高雄一期直播钢铁人总教练郑志龙，助理教练洪启聪、李婉如、高启言。福尔摩沙台新梦想家秉持铁血的斗志，打造强悍的战场。梦想家人们汇聚能量，携手一同并肩作战。我们不怕，持续再战，可以吗 ？Come on, let's welcome 福尔摩沙台新Dreamer。 我们一定可以！相信胜利属于场上最强悍的我们，相信身旁的战友，相信在座的每一位家人，拿出最卖力的尖叫声，最热情、最热血的力量，一起来帮我们加油吧 ，Ladies and Gentlemen！ 掌声 ，Here we go, Dreamer！And now number 3rolling out， 梦想家的百能暴徒。 Chen。 7 7号半兽人，体能劲爆的活动篮板，鱼要走。绿色闪电，南美8号，来自彰化的光速4分卫，王胜宇。南美人10号。 本土单场最高分纪录保持者，秒速跑者林俊基。他们18号梦想后场的强力大手，防守悍将杨胜宇。26号梦想家最后一道防线，台湾魔兽李。 3分代名词 ，Number 13 30号出手就准备命中，吴松伟。Number 88 88号禁区铁壁梦想护盾，周国成。And now starting 5， 前方 Number 3 3号梦想推进器。 后场指挥官老吴家驹，他们的地方35号土制炸弹，来自土耳其的全能前锋，还有他 Caramel。他们团名A 28号全能射手，梦想家后场魔术师。 卢冠亮，他们的地锋34号火锅制造机，威斯康星的地图防守兵器 Brandon Gobert， Number 14 14号国民姐夫全场压迫专项，28公尺大锁吴永胜。
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, seniors and youth. Back-to-back primetime games for the Formosa Taishin Dreamers. Can they avenge last week's loss? Or the new look Kaohsiung 17 Live Steelers gain another game on their competition? Hi, everybody. I'm Ryan Chen, joined by Coach Ben Metcalf on the English broadcast.
Yeah, Ryan, great to be back here for a primetime game on the weekend.
Last night, the Dreamers rallied around their Turkish teammate İknan Karaman and led by Jeff Wu's 17 points, including a fourth quarter three-point dagger, took down the Pilots, and that's how we have the standings there on screen with the Kings. Now a half game up on the Pilots, and the Dreamers and Steelers, the 5th and 6th place teams, but there's still plenty to this game as they're facing each other for the second time in 2 weeks. On the Mandarin broadcast is Xiaohu Hu Jingqi and Caibao Cai Jingjing. 球迷朋友们，你找到了 Plus 的英文转播喽，要看小胡跟情景的中文转播，当然就按到官方的中文连接。但谢谢你的收看，记得 Plus 的转播都要按赞。Of course, a lot of energy in the building. That can't be the reason why you made it back to this game, Coach, is it?
No, I just hadn't seen you for a while. There happened to be a game in Taichung with probably the biggest stars in Taiwanese basketball history. That was just a pure coincidence, Ryan.
Indeed, Jeremy Lin making his debut last week on Sunday against these very Dreamers. And so in a small league and with the unbalanced home and away schedule, that's what you'll encounter a lot of the times. And we'll break down the strategy later after Jiai's report on the special themed weekend for the Dreamers. Party up.
我是嘉怡，欢迎大家来到台新梦想家的主场。赛前呢，带大家来看一下本周的主题活动是什么呢？那就是 Dreamer Party Up 跟 Up 直播的主题合作了。那所以这2天呢，其实可以看到我们直播主在赛前呢都会进行精彩的表演，当然今天也不例外。但是很特别的是，也要邀请大家来玩一些关卡的体验，因为有机会可以获得 Dreamer Light Up 像嘉怡手上这样的限量手灯。那有 Party， 当然要有 DJ 啦。马上来欢迎今天的 DJ Cindy。
Jai giving you a preview of what the fans in the stadium can encounter in the concourses for this special Up Live themed weekend. And of course, the light up Dreamer sticks, which are becoming very popular around the league when they turn down the lights to show the support for the team's former Formosa sexy, DJ Cindy, also had a turn out on the floor. But it's about time we start talking about the basketball side of things. The one thing that we all predicted, and was indeed the truth, was a lot of pick and rolls with Jeremy Lin, and especially with the big Vyacheslav Kravtsov, their Ukrainian center, certainly giving the Steelers a brand new look from before.
Yeah, you said it, Ryan. It's something that maybe Taiwanese point guards aren't the best at, just controlling the pace, working the pick and roll, reading the defense. Obviously, Jeremy Lin has a little bit of experience doing that at a high level, so great to see him come here and really show what he can do in his first game. We mentioned earlier, again, really tough schedule for the Dreamers. Have to see him once again in the next week, but that's the joy of the Plus League. You get to see him, you get to make adjustments and see how those adjustments work.
The cold water bath in tribute to Jeremy Lin for his debut. He had 21 points, which did not lead the team, but of course the way he spaces the floor and also the way he is an offensive threat is certainly different than a lot of Taiwanese players, but you can say the same about Chen Wei's previous season. Here he was pregame.
在前面比赛没办法去分担，很多就是没有很多人嘛。那
Excuse us for the technical
这季
difficulties.
来讲应该算吧，因为其实前面自己也是打了很多时间嘛，那自己也是有出现一些疲劳，还有一些伤痛这样。那可能在轮替上可能比较没有办法去，在前面比赛没办法去分担我就是控球的这个很多就是没有很多人嘛。那其实豪哥来之后，其实他就是我可以帮忙分担他的一些体力啊，就是如果他真的太累的话，我可以帮忙分担这样。那我也可以更专心，就是做好我自己的工作这样。他的阅读防守跟判断防守的时间很快，就是他一下子就做出判断这样，然后传球时机跟一些进攻的选择，我觉得都是非常好的这样。那想要技能的话，我可能还是投篮吧，因为我自己投篮比较弱嘛。那豪哥的投篮其实都中距离啊，或者是3分都蠻穩定的這樣。
That is Jerry Chen Wei, who was and is still part of the Steelers' plans going forward as the starting point guard. But with Jeremy Lin in, he had admitted that the fatigue and some of those aches he had were hampering his point guard ability. But learning from one of the best in the business, learning about space and tempo, of course, one of the most important things is shooting. So there on the graphic is Chen Wei needing the Jeremy Lin life preserver in the last game on the left side column. Only 26 minutes played, but an efficient 13 points on 71% shooting. Certainly taking a dip in his sophomore season, but that's almost to be expected with the defenses figuring out how to defend you in a year around.
Yeah, exactly, Ryan. I think other than the fans here in Taiwan, one of the biggest beneficiaries is Jerry. Again, being able to learn with somebody that did experience and the willingness to share that experience. As a young player, like you said, kind of struggling in his sophomore season, but just a great person to learn from. But at the same time, those minutes were stacking up. Now you're able to put him, sometimes on the court at the same time with Jeremy at the 1 and the 2. Again, just a great opportunity for the youngster.
Tony Chen is the head coach for the Steelers. He took over partway through the season. And on the other side, same situation for Lai Po-ling, the head coach of the Dreamers. He was interviewed pregame.
上场的比赛策略有针对他的这一点，我们回来有做很多的练习，然后但是呢，希望能够减少他的持球的时间跟他的串联的攻势啊，不要像上一场他能得分又能传出13个助攻，所以我们有针对他的个人有去针对一些练习的策略，对，会跟上一次可能有些不一样。去大白，他昨天的伤势之后，我们有请防护员去密切的关注他，从昨天晚上到今天早上。那他其实基本上是没有太大的问题啊。那复原的状况也不错。那在卡拉曼部分，其实练习跟比赛毕竟还是有一些差距的，不一样的感觉的。其实透过一些比赛，让他知道他怎么去跟队友的配合。那我也相信，就是打越多比赛，他的配合跟队友配合的程度会越来越好。
Lai Po-ling sharing that, just like we expected from their post-game press conference down in Kaohsiung, that the Jeremy Lin pick-and-roll defense will be their emphasis, and they try to practice a lot. Maybe an idea, he said, keep the ball away from him in the first place. Now, asked about the injuries of Achi, who took a hard fall on the contact on the screen, and Gilbeck, who left the game with some discomfort. He said they've been monitoring those two players' situations, and they appear ready to go for this one. And as for their new import, who's already got 2 games in his records with the Dreamers, just might need to learn a little bit more for how they play and how they can work together on the floor. Before the opening tip, we bring you the officials for tonight. Huang Zhenfeng will be the crew chief, bringing along 2 new referees into the Plus League in Season 3. And now the starters from left to right is Jeremy Lin, Little Lu Wang Luxiang, Goku Taishin, Lan Shaofu, and Kratsov, their center. This is the same exact starting lineup as last week on Sunday. And for the Dreamers, they have the same starting lineup as last night. It's Hayden, along with Jeff Wu, Ryan Lu Guanliang, Karaman, and Brandon Gilbeck.
Yeah, and like we mentioned pregame, it'll be interesting to see just how they defend Lin out there. Again, they know that it's tough to control him once he gets into that pick and roll, but something the Taiwanese coaches love to do with any high scorer, high pick and roll usage guy. Just deny him the ball, make him work full court. We saw it a little bit at the end of their last matchup, but you can expect some pressure right off the tip.
They did, in fact, kind of alter their strategy in the second half. In fact, going with the blitzing double teaming defense, or at least enough of a show from their center, who usually have to play drop coverage in the Plus League.
Yeah, and that's where we mentioned that his teammates are going to have great opportunities. Again, when you put 2 on the ball, Jeremy's somebody who can get the ball out quick, get it to that short roll, and that just person has to make the right decision, and you're going to get wide open shots for your shooter.
The stadium capacity here in Intercontinental Basketball Stadium, 3,000, but I think it's safe to say there might be a few more eyes. The tip is up, won by the Dreamers in their green and white Knicks jerseys, and the Steelers in their alternative red jerseys. Jeff Wu had a good game last night. Has a mid-range shot go up, but missing to the right. First play, Jeremy goes off ball, and there's a off-ball foul where Taishin was trying to get free.
Yeah, again, we can see that physicality right off the bat. Again, the Dreamers, their defense has been the one thing that hasn't left them at all this season.
On the season series, the Dreamers lead 3-2. Little Lu to Goku, who overshoots it. Thought there was contact as the ball will stay with the Steelers. Funny thing about the scheduling, I looked this up. The last 3 games between these 2 teams, with all 3 of those in Kaohsiung.
Which means the last 3 games will be in?
No, that's not true, is it? Have you looked it up, Coach? Through pass, intercepted by the Dreamers. Wu Guanliang with the tough turnaround, and Jeremy skies high for the board. Out to Lan Shaofu, given space, he tries. Forward right to Kratsov. Kalaman had his hand in the cookie jar, and the ball will go in.
Yeah, you said it. Great footwork there by the Steelers. Big, just able to turn right into that contact as he's trying to flick the ball away. Nice finish through contact.
Now, as much as we talk about pick and roll, Kravtsov also had 3 or 4 offensive rebounds that led to easy scores, too.
And that's something that the Dreamers have really struggled with this entire season. Again, not a lot of size other than Gilbeck. The Steelers able to take advantage of it in the last matchup.
Throw in the free throw as well. Ryan beating the screen, will pass out of it. Now it's Gilbeck with a lot more wrap on him, arms and legs. Will go to the middle, close miss, and there's a rebounding foul, and that might be a little bit costly for the Dreamers if it's on Karaman.
Yeah, as much as he had a rough shooting day yesterday, still able to contribute in other ways. But again, a second foul with less than 2 minutes gone in the game. Not the ideal start.
He'll go off for number 8, Dobowitz, who's got some starts and is almost superseded Doway in the rotation, and certainly at least at the power forward position. Batted ball as Jeff Wu will get credit for the steal to Gilbeck. One man to beat. Pretty good hands as the Dreamers have to score on the rebound.
And there we saw that pick and roll defense. Able to create a turnover.
A little bit of a stoppage first.
Again, Jeremy able to get out of the way. Hayden sticking with the play, getting the putback in transition, but like I said, a little scrum under the basket over there.
It's Little Lou bring it up over the halftime to Nate Taishin in the mid-range. With a perfect 4 for 4 in his debut on a Saturday last week. As a made 3 there by Ryan.
And as much as the focus has been on Jeremy Lin's contribution offensively, really the Steelers' biggest problem this season has been defensively. Again, not getting back in transition there. Great corner 3.
Jeremy pulls up from deep 2 range as he goes down. It's played funny on his side, but now he's flipped around. Maybe looking for an unsportsmanlike foul on the landing. Get another look. Doesn't look like anything crazy. In fact, Jeremy kicked out the right foot.
Yeah, Jerry just not able to slam on the brakes in time. I don't think anybody was expecting Jeremy to shoot a long 2. Able to get 2 shots from the line.
Well, keep an eye out on it because maybe his feet got tangled up a little bit. Well, he showed off his athleticism with that maybe block. We'll have to double check with the scorekeepers. That was an athletic play, in fact, in the transition. After the free throws, we're tied at 5. Ryan now attacking the lane. We'll lose the handle on it, and they say turnover. As the slot side official will try to provide some information now. And it will stay with the Dreamers. Yesterday, Lu Guanliang also had a solid scoring game. This is a veteran who knows where to find some space and also knows the crucial moments. 11 points on 4 of 10 shooting.
Yeah, and he's one of those guys who's really started picking up his play after the Lunar New Year break, really helping the Dreamers get a couple wins.
Inbounds, Jerry over to Jeff. Again, working left. Not getting away with the travel, though.
Yeah, that's one of those Spain pick and rolls where you whiff on the screen, nobody's open. And Jeff gets caught in the air. And kind of silly looking turnover there.
The only blemish to yesterday's performance for him, he had 4 turnovers, usually so sure-handed in the second season. Alley-oop as Kravtsov can't get the finish. Down a man, there's a batted ball out of bounds.
Yeah, just poor pass there. Gilbeck, the one thing he does every play is sprint down, try to seal under the rim, as we see Kratsov with the missed dunk. But again, just puts a lot of pressure on that transition defense, Gilbeck does.
Gilbeck spin moves, reversing, then spinning again, had that one blocked.
Again, force him to that left hand. Wanting to get that jump shot off, nice block.
Go cool, we'll get the and one on the reverse.
Again, that's where those mid-range shots from your big really sucks Gilbeck out. Again, the blow by Ryan, able to get to the rim, nobody there to help. And again, just you're already beat, pushing him in the back. Another and one opportunity for the Steelers.
It's already 5 team fouls for the Dreamers in just over 3 minutes of play.
And maybe some of that's because they played last night, just kind of a step slow. A little too physical. That's something to watch though.
The one now fires away toward the number 55. Jeremy taking the contact and taking another hard fall and favoring that left ankle.
Again, Jeremy, no stranger to physical play. As we know in his days in the CBA, he just got beat up. But again, these Dreamers taking a toll on him in this first quarter. Again, getting hit by 3 bodies on the same play. Taking a little bit of time to tie that shoelace to the extra breather. But again, we saw the first time with that pick and roll. That little blitz turned it over, this time able to split it using a smaller defender as the screener. Good job getting to the line, and 2 more free throws.
No matter if it's the physicality or the road conditions, the unfamiliarity, the Steelers have a 15-point scoring drop-off from when they're at home to when they're on the road this season. 100 down to 85 points.
And again, that's something you see with poor teams. Again, we obviously know the Steelers in the bottom half of the standings, but play better at home, less competitive on the road. I hope to see that change now with some certain import changes.
They get their hands on it and a turnover quickly down the floor. The screen comes and the Dreamers cover it up. Kaohsiung losing the handle on it, and it's back-to-back turnovers. Dreamers get a reset. Jeff Wu left open. Here it goes. It's in. Steelers up by 2 as they have some questionable spacing until Taishin misses the 3. Now it's the Dreamers with the ball screen. Forced shot by Ryan, and now foul on the rebound first.
But again, that's just the pressure that Gilbeck puts on the defense. Able to get down there early off the wild shot. But again, just zero communication from the Steelers defensively. Able to get a wide open 3-pointer in the corner.
Every popular tank coming in. He last appeared on Sunday, and it was his first game since January 29th, including 3 DNPs. And I'm sure the Steelers staff has a reason, but the fans gave him a warm welcome back on the floor.
Yeah, fan favorite everywhere, but especially in one of his old haunts here in Taichung.
Hayden beating the shot clock, rolling in and out as Jerry can't beat it through the contact. But Jeff Wu splash down. An early 6 points as Jeremy Lin missing the fadeaway. Apply a little bit of pressure, and now Gilbeck to a cutting Ryan, stuffed by Slava. Nickname for Kratsov as Jeremy can't pass it out of the contact. Kind of an unlucky bounce out of bounds there. And with substitutions for both teams coming up, we'll also have our first break of the game. Of course, a physical affair. Two teams playing 2 weeks in a row. That's what's to be expected. We'll be going to a break. This Dreamers-Steelers game. The rest of it coming up.
敲打节奏，赠送礼物给大家喽！
Welcome back, folks. Like the stream if you enjoy Primetime Plus League basketball. Today, Saturday here in Taiwan, but it is a special work makeup day, and thanks for joining
us. Nothing special about it, Ryan.
Oh, okay,
Nothing special about it. Working on a Saturday.
It's happened, what, 2 times already this year with 2 more coming up.
Don't remind me. It would be nice to just be sitting at home watching a good basketball game, Ryan, but that's life.
Substitutions for both teams as Doe will come in at center for the Dreamers, and Chen, who has become a little bit of a microwave off the bench for the Dreamers, in addition, or shall I say alongside of Achi. He had 15 points in yesterday's action.
Yeah, you see foul trouble for the imports. Dreamers going all locals here early in the first quarter.
And for the Steelers, Captain Liu Zhenlu is in on the wing as Jeremy forces one up. Well, the ball dances off the rim, and another off-ball foul for the rebound.
Yeah, that's going to be another trip to the line with those early fouls here in the first quarter. Just a great job by Slava boxing out, and easy call as Slava goes flying.
No imports for the Dreamers in their current lineup. As Kratsov sinks the first free throw.
Yeah, I think we've seen throughout the first 6 minutes, their biggest issue so far has been spacing. Again, really not a lot of shooting on the court with Jeremy running those pick and rolls, bringing Lou in the game. Hopefully we'll open that up a little bit. But again, the Dreamers have done a decent job keeping the ball out of Jeremy's hands on those pick and rolls.
Steelers back up on top by 1. Number 14, fresh in the game, Chopotsang, being tied up around the screen as Dreamers number 14 misses the runner. They fight hard and get another possession back. Steelers recover though, as right now the spacing and pacing seems to be a little bit of an issue. Jeff Wu shakes a defender and turning into a by Zhong shooter.
Is that an early Chinese lesson today, Ryan?
That's right. It was an illegal screen by Kratsov as that sent Jeremy and Hayden flying. Oh no, that's Chen, excuse me.
Again, that Dreamers defense speeding the Steelers up a little bit as we see, again, just poor communication on the Steelers' part. Really no reason not to switch that pick and roll with a couple of forwards out there. But again, Slava getting that right leg out a little too far. Only the second foul of the quarter for the Steelers.
The aforementioned Achi's in the game. He was the top scorer for the Dreamers in their last matchup with 21, including getting to the free throw line 10 times. Back to Doe. He'll try from 3. Good. But another Dreamer takes a hard screen, a numbers advantage for the Steelers. As down low is Cho Bo-zang.
Yeah, just good active cutting by the non-shooter as Dreamers guard still up there on the ground writhing, and the Dreamers bench getting teed up.
It's Chen holding on to his side, as maybe you caught it, but we certainly saw it from where we saw the officials teeing up the Dreamers bench.
But again, really, you can't blame anybody other than his teammate. Again, good screen right there by Tank. Just no communication.
In yesterday's game, Aji kind of took it on the side of the face and through the chest, but Chen might have had the air knocked out of him too. Get an angle from here, and Tank might be stepping up, but his teammate also in the picture too. So we seem to have ourselves an extended break as they finally help Chen Zhenjie off the floor and will walk off on his own power.
Yeah, we mentioned the Dreamers got a little banged up last night. Hopefully nothing serious there for the Dreamers shooter.
A lot of Dreamers personnel in front of the LED boards, and now they're finally making the way off. As Jeremy rolls in the technical free throw.
Just a parade to the line so far in the first quarter for these Steelers.
That kind of was the case in yesterday's game, as the Dreamers 9 for 11 from the free throw line against the Pilots. So things have reversed. Difference a day makes. Yu Zhenlu with a nice show. Now off the chase, number 18, Yang Sen-yin. As Carman getting to the left side, and they blow the whistle as Tank, they say, didn't defend cleanly.
Good place that these Dreamers are playing with, just forcing long closeouts. Again, letting him get to his left hand, probably not ideal, but again, Dreamers 4 able to get into the lane and start creating.
Substitutions to get Goku back in.
I'm sure if you're a Turkish big, you're probably a little bit less scared of Tank than you are if you're a small Taiwanese shooter, Ryan.
That makes sense to me. Common didn't start well, but his three to put the Dreamers up 74-73 was a seismic boost. Out of bounds, they say off the Steelers, as Yang Se-yin was in coverage. Aji hooking the pass to Kama, and they call a holding foul first. So one thing's definitely been clear ever since we saw him in Hoping Gymnasium. He's going to dribble to the left 100% of the time.
Strong left-hand driver. Again, and that's what you'd expect from a vet. Again, getting called for 2 early fouls. Knows how the fouls are going to get called at the rest of the quarter. Again, he's been in the game for a minute and already got 2 fouls called on the opponent. So.
Over to Jeff Wu, doing the shake and bake. Now Karaman going left. Jerry gets his hand on it. 1 second left on the shot clock. It's Aji from deep 2. Off to the side of the backboard. Now a run-out opportunity for the Steelers. Taishin. Lan Saofu. They'll get a reset. Jerry's fresh into the game. He tries, but the 3 is short. On the reset. So anyway, hooks it up to a miss. Jeff Wu, that one's an air ball.
I believe that's what they call a heat check, Ryan.
Strong start yesterday, and it's still a strong start, but kind of dampered a little bit as Chen checks back in the game.
Yeah, you really have to admire Jeff after really, really rough starts of the season. Again, a couple wins that the Dreamers have had in the second half. really a lot of it has been because of his performances.
Wimbledon right back to Kratsov, who's trying middle. And the foul coming from the opposite side referee.
But again, just zero movement on the weak side. Kratsov going one-on-one. Fortunately, Derek a little bit too handsy. Again, just giving the refs the opportunity to make that call, extending the arms. Again, regardless of whether he's embellishing that contact, the contact's there.
Another trip to the free throw line. And it seems like Kratsov is getting more and more accurate. From 15 feet out now.
And that's where it's really puzzling to see them, the Steelers, not have a lot of space on the floor. Again, with him on that short roll, the defense has to react. There should be somebody open on the weak side. Again, we'll see if the Steelers can make that adjustment sometime here after the first quarter.
Aji lets it go, and it's through. So with the first missed free throw by the Steelers, and the three is a 4-point lead for the home Dreamers. Littleu now working with Kratsov on a side. He'll try from mid-range, rolls it through.
And again, you mentioned it, Ryan, that mid-range wet as always for Slava.
Now Karaman receiving the deep pass and will get the left hook in.
And again, just another scouting report. Got to know he's coming back to that right shoulder, left-hand hook.
At the high post, looking for options. Taishin to Kratsov. A little bit of schoolyard basketball.
Come on with the pong-pong one-handed floater from 8 feet, Ryan.
Aji manipulating the defense. Now Yang Sun-yin floated up and off glass.
And again, just good job by the Dreamers getting the ball to the replace man. Poor job by the Steelers letting everybody get to their strong hand driving.
Yang Sun-yin only had 2.5 minutes of action yesterday. Looks like he'll surpass that as Taishin kind of caught in the middle there.
Well, that's what we saw Jeremy Lin do a good job of last time. Again, just that pace as we see him get brought back in the game. Again, just a little too much of a rush there. No opportunity for the roll as we see, once again, being able to get to that right-hand shoulder and put that hook in.
Captain Liu covers up this down screen, now has to chase off the handoff. The Doe in the mid-range, easy money.
And again, just able to get to the teeth of the defense. Nice soft roll by Derek. Great mid-range jumper.
Yang Sun-yin face guarding or trying to guard Jeremy, who tries to pull up. Not quite the soft touch he needed. Under 40 seconds, Aji, shot going up, but a long bounce. Corralled by Lansao. Jeremy to Kratsov, getting the screen by Lansao, as they call it off of Chen. One thing about Jeremy's debut performance is it wasn't the easiest shooting afternoon for him, only 8 for 23 from the field.
Again, we said it before, these Dreamers are going to be physical. Again, it was his first game action in a long time. So it's tough to look at his performance just from the scoring performance.
Wang Yuxiang attacking off the catch, but Lansao not on the same page. It's another turnover. Now in the game, the Steelers already with 8 to their name. Aji working left, passing right to Derek. No good, and time will run out. Well, the Dreamers, playing on a back-to-back, have another strong start to the game. With 3 quarters to go, to determine the results of this one. We got these messages coming up for you. You're watching the Plus League on YouTube.
左边的朋友，让我看看你们的手。3、2、1，还有一个，左边的朋友，让我听到你们的声音。3、2、1，来喽，准备了，中间的朋友。
正中间，双手举起来，3、2、1，
好的。
3、2、
1。
上车的朋友，
让我听一下你们的声音，好不好
？3、2、1，
来了，右边的朋友，右边的朋友，手借给我，手借给我。
2、1，
马上。右边的朋友，还有一个。
双手举起来，给我们一点声音。3、2、
1，
太厉害！
好了，再麻烦所有的梦想家人，在第2节的时候帮我们梦想家加油！
休息，继续加油！
Welcome back to Taichung Intercontinental Basketball Stadium. The only doubleheader in Week 16 here in the Plus League is tomorrow, Sunday. Kings at Lioneers at 2:30 and Pilots at Braves at 5 p.m. The first quarter lead belongs to the home Dreamers. First it was Jeff Wu, then it was Aji who was sinking those deep threes. Of course, what the Dreamers are known for.
Traditionally, not so much the first half of the season though, Ryan.
Yeah, well, they could have done a little bit better. But like they say, you know, kind of that second half is a great kind of inflection point for them to get a little bit of a restart.
Exactly. And I think as people see the Lioneers with some significant injuries on their roster, there's still an opportunity for these teams to make it to the playoffs. So that's why this game, physicality-wise, definitely has a playoff feel to it.
For example, the Dreamers are actually missing several key contributors to last season. Doug Creighton, only 7 games played so far. Kenny Chen, only 13. Both of those forwards played 29 out of 30 games in the last season. The Taishin over to Captain Liu in the corner, no.
Yeah, but again, we see those Dreamers willing to put 2 on the ball. Steelers continuing to go with guard-to-guard screen action for Jeremy. Really not a lot there off the initial action.
Haman with the rainbow.
And after having a rough start to his weekend yesterday, he definitely started contributing to this Dreamers lead.
First score of the afternoon belonging to the Dreamers. And a counter 3 by the Steelers. Little bit of extracurriculars after that one.
Yeah, not the first time we've seen that here in Taichung, but again, good front, nice pass over the top. And again, just not able to get a hand of it initially.
First foul by the Steelers on the quarter. Yangsi into Karaman out of bounds. Jay Chen will fire away, no.
Yeah, we see Jeremy once again doing a good job coming back, helping out on the boards. Easy way to get the ball out in transition quickly.
through the baseline. Now to Taishin, to Tank. Not great spacing. Deep three by Taishin, no, as the Steelers continue to struggle for space.
Yeah, you said it, Jeremy, coming baseline, really no option as we see a steal in the open court. But again, the Steelers have gotten caught a couple times, baseline drives, no outlets. Jeremy throwing it back across his body. Two bigs getting caught on the same side. Really just ugly offensive possessions for the Steelers here so far.
Haji will throw it away. They only had 3 turnovers in the first quarter. That one cost them 2 points. Another foul.
But again, we see Gilbeck, again, such a good job when the defense gets below, just ducking in, sealing. And I'm sure Derek is smiling there on the bench seeing Tank get called for that because he's already got called with a couple of those so far in the first half.
Lu Guanliang catching off the inbounds, but will opt to get it to his point guard. Karaman this time fires away from the left side. Tank given space will try to answer. Another miss as the shooting percentages have dropped precipitously.
Again, we mentioned earlier, just not a lot of shooting out there for these Steelers lineups. Again, tough opportunities there in transition.
Talk about the difference in the game. The Steelers only 1 for 7 shooting from the outside. The Dreamers 7 for 14.
And again, a lot of that's just come off the pace. We've seen good actions on the weak side, off on replaces on those pick and rolls. Good job in transition, sprinting to the corners. Not what you'd expect from a team on the second half of a back-to-back.
Back to Hayden, running the floor. The teardrop is in.
Such a good job by Hayden, just understanding, not really a shooter, getting a running start, catching the ball on the move, able to get to the rim for that floater.
Jeremy with a little bit of space, tough flip layup in.
But again, just not a lot of weak side help there. As Jeremy able to flip it in off the backboard.
As Gilbeck fouled. Hand on the back, easy call for 2 referees.
Yeah, the Dreamers should thank the refs. He probably could have called the foul about 2 seconds early as we see another blow by going baseline. Help still in the restricted circle. And again, another tumble for Jeremy as we see once again Gilbeck creating fouls on these Steelers locals.
And yesterday, Brendan Gilbeck started off 5 for 5 and ended up the game 6 for 8 from the line. Led the game, or led the Dreamers with 18 points and 15 rebounds. His absence definitely was a little bit of a worry, but of course, newest teammate Karaman provided a nice boost to the team defense, and of course the scoring punch, if you can say so, in the end.
Exactly, and that's the nice part about having 2 imports. Again, you can swap them out in the fourth quarter, see who has a better contribution, and again, both Dreamers imports helping to that win yesterday.
The Steelers call timeout. They want to talk it over as we have another break here in game 64. Coming out of the break, it's a Dreamers 33-25 lead in the game. And this second quarter, currently tied at 7-7 as the guards are finding a little bit more space to drive despite both teams having their big imports in the middle.
Yeah, again, just everybody's starting to get a feel of how the refs are calling this game. Things have opened up a little bit more in the second quarter. Nice to see a little bit of a flow and pace to the game.
Dreamers showing a little bit of full court pressure. There's Jeremy guarded by Jeff Wu, who did an admirable job on him last game, but committed a few more fouls than he probably thought as the Taishin goes around the baseline. Deflected pass and a turnover. As Kahneman going right this time and finding Gilbeck on the feed. Spending all day down there, hooks it in.
Again, these imports for the Dreamers are really just putting these Steelers bigs under the basket, sealing, able to get layups left and right.
Jeremy now with a mismatch, but he passes out of it. Looking for Kratzov. As Lin Ziwei has that shot blocked easily from behind. That time Gilbeck didn't even need to jump. That's how easy it was.
And again, it's just spacing issues for these Steelers. Really no room for anybody.
Who's going to be staying with the Dreamers as the Taishin and other teammates want them to review it. And even Tony Zhenzilong was indicating for the review, though the referees are kind of slow to make their way to the monitor. There they go now. But pretty clear to me that right now, the Steelers can maybe benefit from a big who can stretch the floor right now, as they're not losing the rebounding battle in the game. They have 19, the Dreamers have 16 if you're following along with the P.LEAGUE website.
Yeah,
Another look.
Should be a quick review. It's pretty obvious that the ball was off the Dreamers, but you said it, Ryan. Again, just not looking very connected are these Steelers on the offensive end. Just, again, a lot of drives in the middle of nowhere, not a lot of movement on the weak side. Again, it's a completely different story from what we saw last week where Jeremy was able to create off the pick and roll. At this point, there's a lot of Steelers just watching Jeremy kind of try and create. So, again, with 25 points through 15 minutes of action, again, certainly not ideal for this last place Steelers.
He might be giving something up defensively and size-wise, of course, but Lin Ziwei on the season, only 4 for 27 on the season for that 15%. But Lansdorfer, who started the game, he's a 40% shooter from the field in now 19 games as Kratzov digs and finds, who did I say? Lansdorfer with the easy two.
You mentioned it. He's just a guy who really knows how to play. He's a guy that is able to put the ball on the floor. He's great little cut right there off the drive. Again, he's a little undersized, but he's going to get you there with his hustle and just smart play.
Midi for Lu Guanliang.
But again, we just continue to see these Dreamers get to their strong hands, get to the middle of the floor. Again, really not a lot of resistance from the Steelers defense thus far.
The Taishin through pass, but Jeff Wu will run it down. Block from behind, or maybe not, but it's a miss as the Steelers get a chance to run. Deep positioning, but Gilbeck jumps in for the help and it causes a turnover.
And again, that's that spacing that we just talked about. Again, Slava telling them to get there. Again, just not looking connected for these Steelers here on the offensive side of the floor.
Gilbeck will get a breather as he and Kahneman are playing back-to-back games. As the Dreamers, in their last matchup against the Steelers, went with Sir Dominic Pointer and Gilbeck as there's a whistle on the drive.
Once again, just that same action. Coming downhill on the handoff, able to get to the strong hand. Again, a lot of ball, but you mentioned it for 3 years now, Ryan. If you come down with that hand, these refs here are going to call something.
Forced to inbound it back to Hayden. Handoff with Doway. Now in the mid-range, no.
Yeah, first time we've seen the Steelers top block. Good result for them.
Jeremy Lin will try from center field. Got it.
Yeah, again, spaced floor, nice little dragon transition. Easy, simple basketball. Easy three-pointer for Jeremy.
6 minutes to go. The lead down to 7, but Ryan's right back with his 3.
Again, just third time this quarter. Steelers imports gone for that steal. Again, comes back to bite him again from the corner 3.
Kalaman forcing Jeremy out. Now he's getting space. Out to Gokul. His 3, no. And the Dreamers push it out of bounds. The only consolation for the Steelers there.
That time a little bit more pace as we see again. Again, miscommunication on the Dreamer side. Wide open 3 from the top of the key. And again, just going for that steal. Easy corner 3 for Ryan.
Now it's Doway, forcing him to go around with Jeremy passing. Doway right back to him. Now better spacing, Kratzov. To Taishin, and time runs out. A little bit of an opportunity for a kind of a runner, but Kratzov opting to pass.
Just see these Steelers picking up the pace a little bit. Again, knowing that the big or the small is going to blitz that pick and roll. We've seen the guards get around him, get into the paint, create some opportunities. Again, a little bit better job attacking.
Also hasn't seen Jeremy drive between the defenders on the pick and roll quite yet. He's always opting to take the long route. To Jay Chen from the right corner, it's down. Dreamers keep hitting their 3s and continue this double-digit lead. Jeremy doubled, passing out of it, as Kratzov has that one batted away.
But again, just not a lot of room for these Steelers to do too much.
Shot fake, and now it's Doway's chance, but he misses. 4.5 minutes to go. Kratzov will get a post up. Using the dribble, and it's another turnover. The mismatch down low, but Jay Chen doesn't get it to him. They call a foul on Jeremy. He had 2 hands on the hip.
But again, Steelers poor recognition there, letting Jeremy go one-on-one for about 13 seconds on that possession. Again, easy call right there with the 2-hand push, but and just Steelers really looking like a team that hasn't practiced together, Ryan.
That's technically what we should have said about them in the debut of Taishin and Jeremy Lin, but they looked a lot better last week, at least in the start of the game.
Yeah, you got to give a lot of credit to these Dreamers. Again, after a rough start with imports in foul trouble, they're able to adjust, and again, they stretched it out to a double-digit lead here in the second quarter.
Doway hit 3 of 3 3-pointers in the last game. He's got an opportunity, takes the contact and finishes through it.
And that's the luxury you have. Again, Jeremy on the court, 2 point guards able to handle and create.
Now Carman squeezing his way against Lansalfu. Shakes him with a dream shake.
But you just see the difference between the 2 teams on the post up. Nice little back screen from Derek. Flair on the weak side, just not letting the defense help.
Jerry to Lansalfu with a high post. He won't challenge him as Taishin getting to the middle, and Kratzov with this time his runner. Big fundamental there.
Nice try to create something out of nothing for the Steelers.
Faking the right, now going to the other side and high off the glass.
Xiaofu did a good job initially, forcing him to his right, but again, letting him get back to that left hand. And again, tough shot off the glass.
Jerry looking for Kaohsiung, this time on the left block with Hayden nearby. Now the double comes and he kind of trips his way more or less to a foul.
Yeah, but again, just that simple little cut to the weak side from Jerry gives Slava a little bit of room, as we see the nice, that's a tough shot coming off of contact, as again we see stumbling, bumbling, but able to get to the line.
Only the first foul by the Dreamers. You can compliment them for playing physically and, of course, maybe in a smart way, not fouling. Kind of a line change for the Dreamers as Gilbeck and Jerry will come in.
Yeah, and you expect these subs to come a little bit quicker with these Dreamers coming on a back-to-back. But again, it looks like they're the fresher team tonight, or at least the team playing with a little bit more energy.
Kaohsiung is one of the most efficient scorers in the Plus League at 1.05 points per possession. It's 5th among the Season 3 active imports. After the first free throw, here's another. Aji looking for Guan Liang on the down screen. Now Gilbeck, the screen for a pop shot, but a run-out opportunity for the Steelers. Jeremy beating one, early floater, well short.
Yeah, those just look like tired legs. Again, we've seen Jerry in the game. Less pick and rolls for Jeremy, just kind of hanging out on the weak side. Again, just got to get through these 2 minutes, and not sure why there's no jump ball on that call.
Gilbeck flinging Jeremy away on the somewhat tied up possession, but an offensive board for the Dreamers, who, like I mentioned, have not had the advantage in that side, but Jeremy, again, smart hands and trying to argue for ball off the thigh. You get another look again.
For 24-second shot clock violation. But again, just those quick hands, ball coming straight down. Good no call by the refs.
Chen, he said he was out of bounds and not established.
Yeah, good job by Jerry, just being physical, talking on that screen, able to create a turnover.
The timeout on the floor. 100 seconds left in the first half. It is a 12-point Dreamers lead, and so far, looking at the stats, they have not held the Steelers to an incredibly low shooting percentage, but if you look at the Plus League website, 2 for 10 shooting the 3, 9 for 19, 2-point range. We'll listen into the Steelers timeout.
他往下走，另外一个往边边弹。好，那4号、5号就会漏了一个，没关系。纵使他去抓他，纵使他去抓他，球给4号赵福，可以做半截篮，或者马上转给你旁边的锋线做 screen 2打1。Weak side, pick and roll into 2-on-1. So I come up with Slava's side, right? I come up with Slava's side. 他走Slava边吗？对 ，no， 后面站。And then I hit him. 好。另外，这个完了之后打一个 5， 让他去打。你们3个在外面。OK， 好来。1, 2, 3.
If you heard the early part of that timeout, is Tony Denzilone calling for a horn set, and They're going to bring in Jamarcus in for the first time today, number 2 for the Steelers, rookie out of Wannan Technical University.
Yeah, a lot of time talking about plays in that timeout, but well, you mentioned it, Ryan. Not great shooting percentages, but again, throughout the first half here, 15 turnovers for the Steelers so far, which is it's tough to come out of that first half with a lead and turning the ball over quite that much.
That's all cool. Captain Lou back to Jeremy. Getting the pass off, or pass off mid-range, buries it.
Well, again, that's just the difference between a point guard with experience and a younger one. Jeremy able to slow himself down, knows that Kratzov isn't going to be rolling hard. That soft roll to the mid-range. And again, easy shot for the bigs.
But on the other side, Achi getting free throws for himself with his speed.
You said it, Ryan, speed. Again, these Dreamers just continue to play with pace, as we see Jeremy just stop on the dime. Another mid-range jumper. But again, I don't think that Lou could have defended Aji 4 years ago when he was at his prime. And it's really a tough assignment for the veteran shooter.
You don't think his prime was winning Plus League first team player of the year last year?
His defensive prime.
Oh,
his
yes,
defensive prime. No, I think last year his biggest contribution on the court was his scoring, shooting, passing, dribbling. Not too much on the defensive end.
Aji splits that free throw trip. Marcus for Kratzov and a little bit behind for Salfu. So on the reset, they double Jeremy. He can't quite take advantage until Salfu squeezes his way to 2 points. They don't look good. You can tell Samuelson that, but Salfu another 2 points to his name.
Hey, well, if I'm coaching him and the ball goes in the basket, it looks good.
Achi all day, open look, no problem.
And again, small pick and roll. Really no communication from the Steelers. Are we switching? Are we showing? Are we going under? And another 3 for these Dreamers in the first half.
5-second shot clock and a second quarter clock difference. Jeremy will dribble it out. Crossover right, take the tough pull up, butter.
Yeah, puzzling why the Dreamers didn't blitz that one, but 2 points nonetheless.
And a foul along the sidelines with only 1.84. Not the Steelers who had fouls to give.
And Jeremy giving Lou a lecture there as we see a tough fadeaway over. Not bad defense, really. But again, you got to know that you're in the bonus already. Just giving points away to one of the better free throw shooters in the league, especially after you finally communicated and switched to pick and roll.
Achi, indeed, one of the league leaders in free throw percentage, 84% on the season.
See, Ryan, if that defensive possession had happened 4 years ago in Lou's prime, it wouldn't have been a foul.
Oh, is that how time works? Well, hey, Achi has missed a couple free throws now.
That's what happens when you have broadcasters jinxing it, Ryan.
Making the second one, but very frustrated as deep pass. They let the contact go on that one as Jeremy Lin, this time holding his face more so than his lower extremities.
Yeah, but again, another turnover.
Would have been a nice play as Kratzov one-handed full court pass, and maybe it's because a certain big game is off, so there's no yellow flag on the floor.
Yeah, interesting call there. Yeah, if we're going to talk defensive pass interference, we've seen more controversial calls or no calls over the past week. But again, just a very physical performance from these Dreamers in the first half.
So on the game, the Steelers kind of just living on the free throw line, 12 for 13, whereas the Dreamers kind of leaving a lot out there. Only 5 for 10, including 2 for 4 by Achi.
A couple more free throws in this game really looks a lot different going into halftime. But these Dreamers having one of their better performances in the first half so far.
Now, in terms of fouls, the Dreamers have only committed 9 fouls, whereas the Steelers have committed 11. So, in some sense, kind of a reverse split situation there, as there you see the turnover numbers on our scoreboard there. 15 to the Steelers, 6 to the Dreamers.
That's really been the difference in the game so far. Get those shot opportunities on the board. It's really tough to get over 50 points, but again, to bring that point you just mentioned, we saw the Dreamers have a lot of fouls in the first quarter. Good job, I'm sure, by the coaching staff, having them adjust and really doing a much better job of just keeping their opponent off the free throw line here in the second quarter.
So in one of those quick turnaround situations, the Dreamers have a baseline out of bounds with 1.39. Curl play as Jerry, one hand, can't stuff it in. That'll be the end of the game. Well, excuse me, end of the half. Well, the game there on the possession was over. Kenny Chen giving a little instructions as the two teams will head to their locker rooms. And we'll be heading to our halftime here in Taizong Intercontinental Basketball Stadium. Dreamers Steelers for the second time in 2 weeks.
这边的球迷，这边来一个。好，把时间交给壮壮以及丹尼。
好的，中场时间。
没错，又回到我们台新梦想家的中场游戏时间啦。好，如果有看昨天比赛的朋友就知道说我们中场要玩什么。不过不知道也没关系，我们等下一并解释，好不好？ 好，大家看到这边有6个桶桶嘛，我们今天就是一样要玩我们的 Party On。
是的。
好，那我们的参赛者呢？我们参赛的球迷朋友已经在我们后面都已经就位了，我们就请他们到场中间来。
好的，那我们就按照顺序，待会来比看谁呢？6颗球里面进的球数最多，就是今天的赢家了。
没错，所以每一位球迷朋友都有6球的机会。好，这样 OK 吗？
可以。
好，那我们就请我们球迷朋友就我们的投球位置。
来，我左手边就是第4号，这边第1号。
好，那我们第1位球迷朋友。 准备好了吗？好，准备好之后就可以投了。预备 ，Go！ 哎呦，这个力道稍微短了一点，调整一下。有了，哎，算框，算框。
来，再大力一点，有机会。
有了，
这个力道不错，这个力道不错。
第1分，有没有第2分呢？好，也是稍微短了一点。哎，非常可惜。来，
最后一颗。
有了吗？好，好的。那么我们第1位球迷朋友呢，得到1分。好，我们第2位球迷朋友，
加油
！Are you ready?
Ready? Go!
Go! Bounce it. All right.
再小力一点。
有了，1分。You're pretty good at it though. 第2分有没有？哎，非常可惜。然后手。 第3分，第3球有了，2分，来喽，有吗？可惜稍显大力了一点。
哎，
好，最后一球 ，last shot。
哎呀！
啊，非常可惜。第2位球迷朋友得到2分。 好，第3位球迷朋友，天使队的朋友，好，客队的朋友，好，准备好了吗 ？Ready, go！
哦，可以哦，可以，修正一下，
有了
1分，球1分，
第3球，哎，非常可惜。
Another basketball-sized. What did you call it in your higher educational place? Is it water pong or a boba pong?
I believe it was Pepsi Pop.
Oh, Pepsi Pop. Yes. Interesting. Xiaohu and Taibo on the Mandarin broadcast. I'm Ryan Chen, joined by former coach Ben Metcalf, calling the English broadcast here in Taichung Intercontinental Basketball Stadium. A 7 p.m. Saturday tip-off, and I explain all this because kind of having a little bit of a funky game going on as well, where the Dreamers have come on a back-to-back and playing strong. That's actually been a trend in the Plus League for the home teams to actually turn around and look more prepared than the road team. As the Steelers, they've had 11 players rotated through, but what are they really looking for, player tendency or player skill-wise?
That is a very good question, Ryan. I think they're hopefully they're trying to figure that out in the locker room right now, as we see the biggest issue for them is those turnovers. Again, 15 turnovers, 10 less shot opportunities. Again, just really not a lot of continuity, connection on the offense or defensive end for these Steelers.
Not on the screen, but is their free throws, which they've done well on, 12 for 13 on the game, but not nearly as many in the second quarter as the first quarter. In fact, only taking 2 in the second quarter as the Dreamers make a big adjustment. Of course, the challenge is kind of coming up for the Dreamers. Usually have a lot of issues in the third quarter. So they were plus 5, 24-19 in their last game against the Steelers. Their blitzing of Jeremy Lin has really left them without many secondary and tertiary options.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. We mentioned that Jeremy spent a lot of energy trying to get around the big. It'll be interesting to see if they throw an outlet there so we can get the big out, throw it ahead, and start that rotation. But again, just a lot of poor spacing, not a lot of great decision-making for the Steelers offensively.
Jeremy, in fact, played the entirety of the second quarter, and as much as the Steelers want to keep him under or around 35 minutes played, he might insist on getting his personal numbers up beyond 40 for a chance for the team to win. They are in last place, a long way to make it into a potential playoff spot.
Yeah, and we mentioned it earlier, I think both of them still have playoff dreams. Again, the physicality in the first half certainly demonstrated that, but we'll see what adjustments they can make at halftime. Let's see who can pull this game out in the second quarter.
In the next segment, we'll bring you leading scores. Before that, though, we have another break.
谢谢庄庄，谢谢大家小朋友。
是缄默，低调的做梦，酿出不肆意天空，想表现自己，怕得不到肯定，反复的挣扎越来越没自信，别操多余的心，反复的全部听，有一件事再累也不放弃。如果你听见我，勇气慢慢复活，二话不说，now正是时候。宁静些 ，be myself。转身那又怎样？想要不同就勇敢奔跑，爱我的人为我鼓掌。话已经出口，该说就要敢做。你和我拥抱不同的梦，鬼脸或笑脸，都想被知道。下一步你无法想象。如果你听见我，勇气慢慢复活，二话不说，now正是时候。
under 6 minutes before the start of the second half on a Dreamers Party Up theme weekend between the Dreamers and the sponsor Up 直播 or Up Live to a packed stadium of 3,000, at least we expect. Dreamers playing 2 nights in a row at 7 p.m. on what technically is a weeknight. Now we bring you the leading scores where Kratsov has provided consistent scoring at 14 points. Jeremy Lin has scored 12, but it's kind of been hard for both of those guys as they get most all the defensive attention. Goku Taishin, 8 points. Lansofu with a couple close makes.
Yeah, you said it, Jeremy. We've seen him earn those points, going through a lot of contact, but Kratsov just getting a lot of his points from the line. Again, both those players just being able to handle the physicality of these Dreamers. But again, we'll see what happens as we mentioned before. It was really a physical game in the first quarter, changed in the second.
Kalaman actually leads the Dreamers with 10 points, going to the hoop strong and showing off some inside moves and some patience. Jeff Wu, 3 3-pointers in the first quarter for 9 points. Aji, of course, coming off the bench with his scoring. Luguang with 8, and Derek Lido with 5 points. And I guess the other side of the floor, the Steelers are not doing a great job stopping the Dreamers attack, whether it's their local guards or whether it's Kalaman doing his work down low.
Yeah, Kalaman really just getting everything he wants, seeming to get to that left hand every play. But again, just doing it inside and out. Dreamers once again, high percentage from the 3-point line. And it's really tough to stop them with Gilbeck definitely sucking in defenders with all of his duck-ins and dives.
Also, of course, in support of Kalaman's home turkey, the Dreamers also putting on a fundraising event where the combined scores will be, how do you say times 1,000? Oh, there I did. Times 1,000 in terms of the Dreamers' support to relief efforts. We hope everyone who's still got a fighting chance and everyone can find their way back home. Well, we have one last break before the start of the second half of this Plus League matchup. Plenty of fans remember the historic and meteoric rise of Jeremy Lin with the New York Knicks. And now he's made it out to Taiwan, the country and of his parents. And certainly lighting up the interest of a lot of NBA fans who we welcome to join us in person or on air if you're watching the broadcast from home or on the go with your cell phones. It's his second game in action, and again taking on the Formosa Taishin Dreamers. They were able to create 26 open threes there on the left column, and they hit 46% of them. Whereas before Jeremy Lin, you could say, they only created 20.5 opportunities and 34% shooting the three. I think that number is working in their favor.
And again, Jeremy's going to attract a lot of defensive attention. If the spacing's right, you're going to have a lot of wide open shots. It'll be interesting what adjustments they make here in the second half to attack that blitz or that trap. Because again, there should be opportunities on every Jeremy Lin pick and roll.
The Steelers have Lü Zhenlu in for second there Wang Lixiang. And the Dreamers have their starting five out there. Jeff Wu will aim it up.
Nice ATO coming out in the third quarter. And they're able to create a nice shot opportunity, just not able to put that one through.
He didn't try to get in front of the fast break, and he's called for a blocking foul. Maybe a slight change of fortunes for the Steelers to start this third quarter. Go for Kaohsiung, who finishes over the Dreamers defense.
Yeah, you get another nice play for the Steelers right there. Again, using Jeremy on the weak side, defense not really wanting to help.
They finally whistle as the ball was turned over.
And that's where we talked about Salfu. Again, he's a guy who's definitely undersized, but he knows how to get low. He knows how to use his body. He knows how to possibly hook people. But again, just a good job getting lower than Gilbeck. Again, the arms getting tangled up. Turnover for the Dreamers.
Jeremy leaves the ball behind and almost did the split. While impressive, it is a Steelers turnover on their second possession. And this time moving middle. Jeremy digs down and loose ball on the floor.
And again, first time we've seen them really push him right. Good job on the dig. Nice defensive stop.
Taishin fouled and the ball goes in. Bonus free throw coming up.
We can see what the Steelers are doing here in the second half. They're taking Jeremy off the ball, putting him on the weak side. There's a lot of space for other guys. And again, Jeremy's somebody who really knows how to play on and off the ball. You can just see there's tons of room right there in the paint. Able to put an awkward shot through with another point coming from the line.
Taishin at the line finishes the three-point play. He was 2 for 2 last Sunday. The lead is 6 for the Dreamers. Gilbeck looking for Kalaman, and the off-ball foul first.
Again, those are fouls that you can live with. Again, Salfu just being physical. Again, just getting tangled up. Harmon doing a good job moving off the ball.
Pretty decent pass too by Gilbeck. He's only at 0.8 assists per game, and that would be an interesting thing to add to his skill set. As late whistle there, Gilbeck putting the shot up.
Yeah,
that's all on Salfu.
Frustrating one. Salfu did a good job of just catching it outside of his comfort zone. You can see him catching in between. And again, Salfu thought he was going straight up and down. Refs disagree.
They indicated point of contact, but could have been him, shall I say, thrusting forward a little bit on defense.
It looks like we're going to get a repeat of the first quarter, Ryan, with 5 fouls already, with 90 seconds gone in the third quarter.
Only a 1-for-2 trip for Brandon Gilbeck, who hit both his free throws in the first half. Taishin given space, puts it up and in.
And again, taking Jeremy off the ball. Defense really not wanting to help. A lot of space for the guys.
Hayden kind of bumped off his spot. Thomas flings it up ahead, but to the wrong direction. It's Captain Lou beating a man. He scores.
But again, you can give that credit once again to Saufu, just getting his body in front of the drive, creating a turnover. And the first easy buckets for the Steelers in a long, long time.
Just like that, the Dreamers call a timeout as the lead is shrunk to 2. We'll be back after the first break here in the second half.
拍手拍打你的折扇越大声，我们离胜利就越近。来测试一下大家的默契喽，跟着节奏。好，先来看一下场上的大荧幕，跟着女孩们一起比出爱心。来，现场的朋友们，跟着芊芊女孩一起比出爱心喽。好。谢谢壮壮，谢谢女孩，暂停时间到。
Within 2 points of the Dreamers, and they gotta feel kind of dazed, like Kalaman there on the bench.
You said it, that expression kind of sums everything up. But again, nice adjustment by the Steelers here. And again, putting Saufu on a lot of these drives, able to get body contact. Again, taking Jeremy off the ball. He's going to get a lot of defensive attention wherever he is. But taking him off the ball here to start the third quarter, creating a lot of opportunities for other guys who are taking advantage of it so far.
And just like we talk about saving energy, because from the Steelers' perspective, if they don't have Kravtsov in there, their center options might not be ideal. So at the same time, that means that Taishin might have a little bit harder time finding the court in the fourth quarter. So rotationally, having him work a little harder in the third makes a lot of sense. Gilbeck drills the 2. Just like that, the home fans trying to support their team. Out of the double overpass to Captain Lou, his first bucket.
Yeah, nice job by Jeremy to get it out of that initial blitz. You can already count on one hand the times that the Steelers have swung it to the weak side off of one of those traps. Nice job by Lou there.
To correct myself, his first three-pointer, as Hayden had that one blocked, but right away it's Gilbeck on the follow-up.
These refs hesitant to blow the whistle too early. Again, Kravtsov wanting a jump ball, but the refs giving that one up and calling the foul.
3 team fouls for each side. Jerry will go off. Double screen for Jeff Wu. Hayden on the curl. Try to flip it up, and a blown post shot.
We've seen Hayden do that a couple times. Again, just catching on the run. Edwards gets to the rim.
Jeremy will try to get the pass off, and he's leveled in transition. Opportunity as there's Coleman's two-handed dunk. And just like that, it's the Steelers who call a timeout. Only leading a short run, but the coaching staff saw something, or maybe more importantly, trying to calm this crowd down for really propelling the Dreamers forward.
Yeah, I think Tony just a little frustrated after they came out so hot in the second half to have a timeout kind of throw them off again. And with a quick timeout back in, and trying to get them back on track.
It's 8:34 on the clock, and in the third quarter, it was all right, just a 4-2 run, but the Steelers saw something that they needed to stop the momentum.
I'm sure that one of the points in the halftime locker room was eliminate those turnovers. Again, probably not a very long leash for those turnovers. That time calling the timeout right after a turnover led to 2 points in transition.
Though, I don't know if we want to admit this to our own broadcast audience, but according to the Plus League website, the only 2 turnovers, we'll just say it to a certain number 7.
I didn't admit anything, right? I'm sure that most of our audience is on the website updating as they watch the game.
The Steelers out of the timeout first and have the floor space with Captain Lou and Tank in their respective corners. And they need to put Tank on the other side. He's getting an earful from his former teammates.
Again, Tank just a fan favorite, but also a favorite of his former teammates.
Jeremy getting the full court pressure from Jeff. Ooh, got to step on him. Shots off screens as Hayden bats that one out of bounds.
Yeah, and you can see Jeremy just talking to Lou, telling him he's got to replace on that pick and roll. Much easier pass if he comes up to the wing.
They blitz him as Captain Lou finding the space in the mid-range, being too hard. Getting the Gilbeck screen, flipping it up, and there's the one-handed stuff by number 34.
Just a nice pass, once again, able to get to that left hand. Really not a lot that Pratsov can't do, or Koloman can't do.
The double and the kick pass. Pratsov from the high post.
But again, Jeremy's just going to get exhausted if you try and have him beat that big on every single pick and roll.
Twelve seconds on the shot clock. Jeff Wu on him, and the Gilbeck down low. His hook way off the mark, and looking there for the follow-up.
Again, after a couple quick fouls there in the first quarter, Holloman's really woken up and spurred this Dreamers run here in the third quarter.
Taishin from way downtown. It's bounced out of bounds. They say for the Dreamers. Right now, substitutions as you see another look of Koloman to Gilbeck with the, wow, tricky finish there. Head inside underneath the hoop, but hands got to reach back for it.
Yeah, again, just a nice little 4-5 pick and roll. And again, another play that you can really just tell the defense to switch, really jam everything up. But again, Kaohsiung just really showing its versatility here in today's game.
Steelers with a 2-3 zone look as Chen flashes open as Luke right now, missing with the left hand. With the transition, Jeremy Lynch, who's strong with it. Taishin will try again. This one goes.
You know that one's going up. Again, nice extra pass by Lou. He's smiling there because you know he's not shy about getting up his shots.
After Chen to fly at him and is enough to distract. Good passing by the Steelers as there's a close miss by Captain Lou. 5 from 2. But they called traveling there with too much of a fancy footwork.
Awkward looking drive there, but again, good things happen when you force them to the right. Euro back over to that left hand. A little bit too tricky.
Little Lou will inbound to Jerry in a quasi 3-point guard lineup for the Steelers. Let's see how that works out. Dillway guarding Kravtsov. All swallowed by his teammates. Not much space opens up. Down low to Tank, had that one sent to the moon by Derek, and a chance for the Dreamers to build on this 4-point lead. Jeff Wu getting the mid-range. In the lineup with Aji, that's been a rarity this season. Mismatch. Go with a fadeaway, no.
Much better recognition there by Tank. Able to help his point guard out, forcing a tough shot.
A little short with that fadeaway. Under 5 minutes in the third quarter. Achi, nice move, open jump shot, yes.
Yeah, just great footwork to create some space on the point of contact on that pick and roll. Nice shot in the mid-range.
Jeff Wu guarding Jeremy. Sticking with him as Jerry fires away. It's good.
Yeah, again, just able to make something out of nothing. Again, Dreamers are able to come out with a run. Steelers come back, make a little run themselves. Again, we got a good game here in this third quarter.
Trying to step back. No good with that one.
But again, I'm sure that was a point of emphasis in the locker room at halftime. Force him to be right. Strong left-hand driver. Keep him away from that.
Little the Tank. Going baseline. Another block by Dillway. 4 seconds left, but the Dreamers who picked the ball off the floor. Gilbert trying to get him to go faster, and Solomon gets to the other side, hooks it in.
Baseline drive to which hand, Ryan?
To the left hand. The whistle in transition to let both teams sub players.
Again, just nice job creating contact to get a little bit of space. And putting up that little half-foot floater. Again, probably his best performance so far as a Dreamer.
That's off with just a quick rest. And off to Little Lou. Second screen, the deep two is in. Able to hit that one.
Again, just one of the few times today we've seen the Steelers get into a second action on a play. Nice job continuing to force the defense to make decisions.
Go away out to Jeff. Achi left open. Doesn't punish them, but long rebound to the Dreamers as the Steelers reset their D.
And you mentioned it earlier, really small lineup here for the Steelers. Second chance points really coming back to hurt him in that possession.
Jeff Wu, haven't said his name much scoring wise. Drills the 3, 6-point lead Dreamers. Dillway picks it off the backboard. 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Achi out to Dillway, fires away, got it!
This is when the Dreamers start to make their runs. And again, string together a couple stops, make a couple threes, all of a sudden you're looking at a 9-point deficit.
Metcalf drops the ball out of bounds off the baseline, and the one thing you really can't afford is a possession without even a shot as you see the ball bounce around.
These Dreamers starting to really attack the zone, getting in the middle. Not a lot of hesitation from all of their shooters, including Mr. Derek.
With Jeff and Derek with the made threes in the quarter, the Dreamers would be hard to beat, hitting 48% of their threes. Chen trying to get in on the action, but out with that one. Gary stopped, looking for an outlet. That's off from way outside the post, has that one blocked. They're trying to argue for a goaltend. The referee's going to let him play on. Going to Gilbeck, hacked there, and a little bit of toughness there as the referee jumps in front. Kind of funny that Gilbeck regained his composure much faster than Chobotson.
Gilbeck has a tendency of playing not just to the whistle, but after the whistle, which not a lot of love lost with him and opponents. But calling the U on that foul, and then a little bit too much contact in the referee's eyes. I guess we're not in the playoffs yet, Ryan, because that's just a good playoff foul right there.
Indeed, we are not in the playoffs. We are only 61 games. This is the 62nd.
But again, we see Gilbeck just doing a great job just sprinting in transition. Not just out-sprinting the Steelers' bigs, but out-sprinting the smalls too, being able to get Chobotson on his back. Again, that's really something that the Steelers have struggled with all season, just giving up those easy points.
Gilbeck's got 9 points and will stay at 9. He does have 4 steals, which I imagine is a high number, a high mark for him this season. Steelers going back to man defense as Yang Se-yin throws it straight out of bounds. All locals for both teams as Manimal's getting his first playing time, number 7 for the Dreamers, guarding Lansoff.
Interesting decision, knowing that in 44 seconds, at least one of your imports is going to be getting a rest. But again, spacing, creating turnovers.
Leaving Achi open, another mistake by the Steelers. Back to a 12-point game.
Points off turnovers, really hurting the Steelers here in the third quarter.
Little Lou with Yang Se-yin guarding. 3 seconds left, fires away, throws it in. Little Lou, much improved for the 4 seconds. 1 second, Yang Se-yin, the jumper off the wrong side of the backboard. But the Dreamers heading to the 4th quarter with a lead 75-66, trying to add on to their 1-game home win with a second. We'll be back after this.
来喽 ，Dancing King， 跟着子子一起做动作喽！耶，谢谢这位美女，换你了，来跟着子子一起加油的动作，不用害羞，来一起做动作吧！耶，谢谢你。 鲁鲁米，耶，我的女孩们，轮到你了，是，来一起敬个礼，耶，跟着子子做动作喽。 好，谢谢子子，谢谢全民票，换你了，妹妹，加油！等谁看的时间，耶！算你有勇气，可以。 好，最后一位球迷朋友，来，换你了。好，谢谢子子，谢谢球迷朋友。
PLG Tuesday night basketball will head to Taipei Hoping Gymnasium for the first time this season. Don't miss the rematch of last year's finals team in the Hsinchu Jeko Lioneers against the Taipei Fubon Braves. In last night's win, the Dreamers broke a streak of 5 home games where they allowed their opponent to shoot better than 40%. Jeremy Lin and Taishin in there for the Steelers. The mid-range is perfect.
And this is what you talked about. The Steelers having to rely on a couple of locals to go through in the game. Yeah, interesting to see how they do.
Doe trying to find Gilbeck. So this is theoretically the Dreamers, I guess, second biggest lineup. Doe still a little shorter than Kalaman.
As far as heft, definitely their biggest lineup.
Aji out to Chen. He'll fire away, no.
Fortunate after no communication on that screen.
Tank running through the middle, he'll get the foul. The shot left a little to be desired, but I guess he'll have to earn it at the line.
I think you heard the fans starting their woo as he crossed half court. As you get him going downhill, that's tough to stop. Unfortunately, he kind of bobbled that ball at the free throw line.
Jeff Wu was only a 37-second rest. He's back in there for Chen. Tank will get the first one down. His first points on the game, in fact. He also has 4 rebounds. Jeremy guarding Achi, who found Gilbeck. Jeff Wu, sidestepper where he hit the 3 last night. Gilbeck fighting hard, he'll get the rebound and the score.
Just an easy call for the ref. Trying to go with the forearm shiver in the chest. Easy and one for Gilbeck. Once again, just Steelers gifting these Dreamers opportunities, whether it's fast break points or second chance opportunities.
Now they're going to go with the 195 front court of Lansaofu and Tank, both out of Gorti National Sports University, as Gilbeck going a little Korean there.
Well, we said that today is technically a working day here in Taiwan.
That's
so,
right.
The banks are open.
Banks are open. Jeremy picks up the dribble, and now the Taishin deflected pass to Achi. 2-man guard him as Gilbeck will fly through and get the up and under.
But again, just no recognition from these Steelers. You know that Gilbeck's going to show. Again, setting back screens makes it tough for the ball handler to get rid of it. Again, just great defensive game plan by the Dreamers. Really, really shutting down the Jeremy Lin puck and rolls. And at this point, the Steelers having a tough time adjusting.
The Dreamers up by 11 as we have our last break of the game.
耶，谢谢女孩们。
We're back, and last note about the Dreamers playing better at home. It was also their first game holding their opponents under 90 points, and after a stretch of 7 games, allowing a little bit more. The last team that they were able to defend under 90 points also happened to be the Taohsiung Pilots. Tanking bounce it to Jeremy, and here they go. Taishin onto Jeremy, who hesitates. Getting it back, he'll get the reset, making things really hard on number 7. Long rebound, Aji. Lu Guanliang with the right-handed lay.
And again, there's just a lot of self-inflicted wounds from these Steelers. Another transition basket from these Dreamers. Just a nice job attacking.
Off the thigh of the Dreamers, who really upped the defensive pressure. Have a look at. I didn't realize Aji had such a flair for dramatic passing. This time they call a foul as Jeremy was going up for the shot.
Again, more contact on the shot. Again, really not a lot of open looks. Put that right hand in his chest when he's in the air. Easy call every time.
Jeremy already 5 for 5 on the evening. He alongside of Kaohsiung and Goku, the only Steelers in double digits. And the Dreamers have 4 double digits, but they also have Doe with 8 and Lu Guanliang now with 10.
Well, that's kind of their recipe for winning. They really don't have a guy who's going to give you 30 or 40, but they can get a lot of guys up in double figures. Again, that balance scoring has really been how the Dreamers have won in the past and how they've done this season.
Doe spins around softly, gets Tank in the air and lays it in softly.
And it's going to be interesting to see how long Coach Tony keeps their import big on the bench, as we've seen these Dreamers just eat up the local big.
Deflected passes, Aji gets the score, or is it Gilbeck with the stuff?
But again, Jeremy with 0 options off of those pick and rolls. That is a sight for all the Steelers fans. A transition 3 from Lou.
That arc is sure beautiful as Gilbeck fouled by Lan Shaofu. The 2 of them have a little word afterwards. Rather cordial, but there'll be more free throws for the Dreamers.
Just great footwork and again a put-back dunk in transition off another Steelers turnover.
And now 9:17 left in the game. Kaohsiung is in.
I'm sure all the other teams are watching this game and saying that, hey, we know that any Jeremy Lin pick and rolls, if we blitz it, if we trap it, at this point they really don't have any plays or any options to get the ball out of his hand. It's been really tough for any Jeremy Lin pick and rolls today.
Do you think that coaches or individual skills trainers would insist you try to maneuver around the show defense instead of cross over through the two defenders.
I mean, we saw Jeremy do that a lot this first half. He did it a couple times in the second half, but it's just exhausting to go against these bigs, try to dribble around them, do something, and then move after that. Again, as we see, Chobaldong hit a three in the corner. It's just so much easier to pitch ahead or get somebody on the short roll or throw back behind. There's just been no consistency on the Dreamers in their game plan to attack that pick and roll defense.
The way in and out, popping that jump shot. As Jerry flipped it off to nobody. Ricochet to Lassoff and a little excuse me foul by Achi.
I think he thought he was playing with Dwight Howard, or somebody who could jump out of the gym, as he just lobbed it up.
The three made, keeping the Steelers in the game. They're down by 12 points as Jerry in a little bit of trouble. Out to Slava, he makes it.
And again, he's just really kind of been the Steelers' security blanket, just able to settle them down a little bit. Unfortunately, he can't play 48 minutes.
Back door, and Lassoff will switch on to Chen. The deep shot, no good as Jeff Wu with the hustle rebound. Seven seconds left. Achi behind the back, and again over to Chen, and still can't find the mark. This time from close range, yes.
As we said, Ryan, self-inflicted wounds. You give any team in this league 3 shot opportunities, they're probably going to make one of them.
Thanks for giving them credit. Captain Liu trying to body up a much smaller Dreamer. Turns around for the three.
Again, that's something that the Dreamers have been doing forever, switching those pick and rolls. Good job battling through the mismatch. And an even better job just hitting a three off of the pick and roll.
It's Achi adding to his point totals on the game. And pretty critically, the Dreamers able to do this against the Steelers without their focal offensive point in Jeremy Lin, too. He's on the bench trying to catch his breath.
Yeah, again, he got a 3-minute rest out of the third quarter, started the fourth quarter, played about 3 or 4 minutes, and again, back to the bench. And again, as soon as he goes, the score kind of gets out of hand. But again, just simple basketball. Again, letting him come to his right hand. Easy three-pointer for Achi.
Their last matchup, they only had 3 scoring double digits between Achi, Lu Guanyang, and Gilbeck. All those were right around 20 points. But in this game, of course, a different story with now 6 players scoring in double digits. And also getting 5 points from Chen. They had Hayden Wu Jiachun score a couple layups, and even Yang Sen getting on the action. And right now, they're kind of playing with that Dreamers vibe here once again.
You said it, just a balanced attack. Everybody touching the ball, everybody moving around. And again, that's what we've seen them do when they play at their best, and they've done that quite a bit over the last 2 games.
Talk about sharing the basketball. They have 19 assists, 7 to number 11 in Achi. So, kind of give him credit for leading this Dreamers team, not only with the 3 ball, of course, that sent us to the last time out. Captain Liu, back to Jerry. Takes the contact, and he'll go to the line.
Moving the ball side to side, a couple back screens. It's frustrating, I'm sure, for the players on the court. Just coming around the corner, not having a lot of room to operate.
Tailway will step up to the line. Bouncing in the first one. He's 72% free throw shooter, though his attempts a little bit on the lower side. Only 25 of the 20 games he's played this season.
And that's sure something that the coach Tony and his staff is trying to balance. Again, you have a guy who's one of the league leaders in minutes over the first half of the season, and all of a sudden you bring in an import who plays the same position. Again, it's an adjustment for everybody, but you got to have faith that one of the better younger players here in the league is going to be able to adjust eventually.
Quick out of bounds. Another chance for the players to catch their breath. A little bit of a floppy now. Doe stepping up. Little Lou jumping ahead of that one. Stumbles to recover, but with momentum, Steelers don't space the floor well. Looking for Jeremy. Another big screen. Forced way out, and Gilbeck just knocks him down. It'll be free throws coming up.
Again, playing like this is just exhausting. Again, you see he really has no other options other than to beat the big right there. And again, that takes a toll on him. We've seen not just pick and rolls, but just drives into the paint. Any normal shot, he's getting hit, he's getting knocked down to the ground, and to have to do that against pick and roll defense. Again, you have to admire the minutes he's played, but I think they're going to have to find somewhere else, some other way to get him loose on some of these half-court acts.
At the line again, where he remains perfect, 8 for 8. Just as important as the difficulty of shots he's taken, he's also been forced into 7 turnovers on the game. A player down, and the Dreamers are not slowing up. Doe trying to get the ball handler's attention. It's Gilbeck left behind as Soyeonway throws it ahead of Salzburg. Jeremy to Slava, he'll lay it in. As finally they stop the clock for the Dreamers.
Again, we've seen physical play this entire game. We've seen Gilbeck take hits, not just today, but really starting yesterday. Again, can only hope that everybody's okay as after some substitutions, back to a 10-point game.
Another look at what's going on there. A contact, and again, the lower extremity where Gilbeck had to come out of yesterday's game. And then the ensuing Steelers offensive play.
That's Dreamer on Dreamer violence right there. That's an elbow to the chin. I'm surprised that he got up after that possession. We would hope that he's okay now.
Going to get attention from the Dreamers staff over there. Of course, Doe on the Dreamers attack was actually kind of worried about his elbow and his forearm there, catching as much as Gilbeck as he did there.
I mean, that's a shot that'll knock you out. Fortunate that he looks to be okay there.
You give him credit for being as tough as he's been on the back-to-back.
I think in other sports he'd be in the tent going under concussion protocol, but again, Kalaman in the game performed well over the first 3 quarters, so shouldn't be too much of a drop-off for these Dreamers.
This will be his first action in the 4th quarter. Aji right from the top, spinning, deeping, and then leaving with floater short as Jeremy bumped down to help but commits the foul. It's the 3rd by the Steelers.
Another offensive rebound here for the Dreamers team in the fourth. Again, a good job kind of forcing him back to that right hand, but again, good footwork, able to get back to that left hand.
This is the first. This will be the 19th free throw coming up for the Dreamers. Kind of catching up to the Steelers, who have 22 on the game. Makes the adjustment. Back to an 11-point lead. Jeremy passes out of the double to Jerry in the left corner, overshoots it.
Well, that's what I was talking about earlier. Man, just an easy play, getting it to the big on that short roll, wide open threes, just not able to hit it.
Maybe baseline, but overshoots it himself. Jeremy crossing over, now spinning. Trying to draw the contact, they don't give it to him. Under 5 minutes to go. Yeah, with the left hand, yes.
Miscommunication there from the big. Not sure if he's staying or getting back to his own. Easy layup there.
Jerry handing off to Little Lou. Getting it right back. A lot of action just to get it to the low post. Lansoff hesitates, now shoots it. Salvatore flinging it up and in.
Not able to get it on the high-low, but able to create his own opportunity with the offensive rebound. And the Steelers just not giving up yet.
It's 19-17 in the fourth quarter as Taylor's pass was Aji pushed way back. Now look out there. Ooh, taking a hard fall as the whistle is blown. Get another look as two players going down, and you see Little Lou with the wrap there, and the awkward fall can't feel good either.
Finally seeing a little bit of pressure up high on the floor from the Steelers. Great job creating a turnover. And again, just staying alive here. Less than 4 minutes left in the game.
Bill Wade's going to stay on, but he's asking for a towel at the Dreamers bench. More free throws. This time it's number 8, Wang Luxiang. Went to Lee Academy in Maine before University of Maine and then Huntington University. One of a foursome of Taiwanese basketball players to go to high school in the States. Doway, top three, but halfway down and out. And again, another Dreamers offensive board.
And those are those plays that just kind of kill you. Get a little bit of momentum, get a couple stops, and then to give up a couple more shots to the Dreamers.
Hammond flips it up with the left hand. Can't get the mismatch. Little Lou trying to find some space. Gary will drive to the hoop and miss the close one.
Again, it's the same thing we saw Hayden do for the Dreamers, just catching on the run. And again, something that a non-shooter really needs to perfect to survive in these leagues.
Jeff and Coleman working on the same side. Jeremy will start the offense. Foul by Doway as a lot of Dreamers fans were standing up, but it's really hard to argue when an offensive player goes down that it's not a foul.
This one, Jeremy knew exactly what he was doing. Seeing a retreating big, creating that contact. You know he's not going to be able to get out of the way. And again, just a vet move. Able to stop the clock, get a couple shots from the line.
It was Derek's fourth foul in the game, but the Steelers have not been able to really close it into single digits.
They continue to shoot themselves in the foot. Yeah, they get it down to 10, get a stop, but give up an offensive rebound, give up a transition bucket, and just really not able to get over the hump here in the fourth quarter.
That's the first, another one coming up. Jeremy, besides 16 points, also has 11 rebounds. Jerry picks his pocket. Now one man to beat. Can't get it down. But they do call a foul. Now every Steeler on the floor trying to indicate for goaltending, and not exactly a situation the referees can look at.
Not just the ones on the floor. I think the ones on the bench are also standing up trying to get it for a call that probably looked like goaltending.
That's exactly what the replay shows to us.
Pretty obvious goaltend there too.
Well, it's Lansofu's turn to step up to the charity stripe. 2 for 4 from the field in his first free throw attempt. Can't do it. Lansofu, one of the younger players with the Steelers, misses both. Under 2.5 to play. Flip the go away out to Ryan, but they're going to run a little bit more clock, spinning into trouble. And indeed, a travel.
By Salfu, good job funneling the baseline by Lou. Good. Steelers still have opportunities, just not able to get over the hump.
Then he gets the pass off. It's Captain Lou hesitating. Racing his pass off will still be 100% from the mid-range.
Single digits, 2 minutes.
Are you saying a little interesting? Pass off on the feet from Jeff, or excuse me, Karaman. Jeremy not waiting for the screen, will put it up. Got his own board, still fighting. And the feed doesn't get all the way to his intended target as the Dreamers now 11-point lead, less than 90 seconds in the ball game.
Just active hands there.
Stuffed on the other side. Down to the floor is Jeremy Lin who misses the layup.
Again, now without opportunities, but just not able to capitalize. And it looks like this one's about over.
The three from the corner, no good, as Steelers need to pull off a miracle. Lansofu right to a Dreamer. That'll pretty much seal it, as the Dreamers will dribble out at least things from 40 seconds out. Kalaman taking the bump, finishing anyways.
Again, just good recognition. Once again, getting to that left hand. Really no help on the weak side. Easy layup.
With some cosmetic opportunities now, as Kravtsov will get the awkward stuff in, but that'll be the ball game as the Dreamers now win 2 in a row, coming back home after kind of a wobbly road trip for themselves. And now the Steelers, seeing that elimination number continue to drop. 102-91 is the final score. They took a lead from the beginning, and they've hung on throughout the whole game. And Steelers, despite finding a little bit more rhythm down the stretch. Just missed so many opportunities in the fourth quarter that they really needed to take advantage of, and it was a gap that really almost seemed all too familiar before Jeremy Lin arrived.
Yeah, I'm sure disappointing performance for these Steelers after such a high that they had last weekend. Again, to come here with a disappointing performance, and as much credit as you want to give the Dreamers. Again, just missed box out, turnovers, easy buckets given up. Again, not without opportunities, but just not enough there in the end for the Steelers.
Well, having a much better second game after last night's affair. The Turkish import, Ilkman Karaman, will be the player that they try to set up for the post-game interview. He had 23 points, 11 rebounds, also threw in 4 assists as the Dreamers, typically not a very strong assisting team numerically, but definitely, as we mentioned, able to share the basketball.
And I think a lot of that's just because of shooting percentages. Again, they had a really tough time shooting from behind the arc the first half of the season, so those assist numbers are obviously going to drop a little bit, but now that the shooting percentages have gone up, again, their assist numbers are going to go up at the same time.
The Dreamers, of course, with one of their better shooting performances of the season as well, getting 4 3-pointers from Jeff, 4 from Achi, and 4 others were able to hit from deep and really create a lot of spacing for themselves as we've kind of put together our plan for the post game. So a lucky fan getting the Jeremy Lin jersey and sneakers.
Congratulations on the great win today. And you bounced back right away from the beginning of the game. So talk about this. How do you feel right now? Did you hear me? Hello?
Yeah.
Okay, you struggled last night, but you bounced back right away. And this day, 23 points and 11 rebounds helped the team to get the win in the stretch. So what do you got for us?
We're just trying to do job as a team, back-to-back 2 games at home. It was my already first 2 games at home, so I'm so happy about this winning. And just try to help my team as much as I can. We're gonna win a lot of games here. Let's go!
现场的气氛蛮嗨的。And second question about the earthquake in your country and the donation of the game these 2 days. So how do you feel about this action for Taiwan and Turkey?
Yeah, I'm so grateful. Taiwan as a country already did a lot of help to my country. I was so happy about it also. Team did amazing work, and I'm so grateful what they did here. Thank you everybody who support me, who support my country. Thanks a lot.
All right, thank you. And congratulations again for the win today. 萨拉曼在赛后呢，也一样是接受了
Nice job by Cai Bao in the kind of MacGyvered post-game situation with Ilkman Karaman getting the interview post-game, and Cai Bao now left with the microphone addressing the home fans who are now slowly filing out. If you're supporting the Dreamers, they've made it 2 wins in a row, and if you're a supporter of the Steelers, well, you kind of need to go back to the drawing board.
One really good game, one not so good game. Again, and that's what you would expect from a team at the bottom of the standings.
Well, we'll go to one last break before wrapping things up from Taichung.
朋友们不要靠在我们的亚克力强化玻璃上面的栏杆，麻烦大家配合。我们要来进行清场，感谢大家的热情参与。我们慢慢的往场外移动。
You get to look at the kicks provided by one Jeremy Lin to a lucky fan in the stands, coming down especially for the chance to get to see the Taiwanese-American legendary basketball player who's certainly put up a good fight in this game, but he and the Steelers, as we mentioned, have to really go back to the drawing board. And I think the only bright spot I really see on their team is they were really good from the free throw line, but in other areas of the game they've certainly struggled. And we said this all year too, what teams perform on back-to-backs is a little bit breaking convention. There's the combined team statistics where the Dreamers shoot the ball a little bit better, but the big key is they caused the Steelers to cough the basketball up 24 times, and the Dreamers 18 steals is a team high on the season, and by the end they also got on top of the rebounding margin as well. And when those possession numbers work in your favor, it's kind of hard to not be on top in the end.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you see the shots 85 to 71. Again, it's tough to overcome that deficit, and as well as you can shoot from the line. Again, they really just weren't able to get over the hump there at the end in the fourth quarter. So again, I think we knew that one player can't really save the entire team. So again, a lot of work to do the rest of the season, but again, definitely bright spots out there for the Steelers.
Xiaohu, Hu Junqi, and Cai Bao, Cai Jingjing on the Mandarin broadcast. I've been Ryan Chen and Coach Metcalf. Tomorrow, like we mentioned, we have 2 more games in the Plus League schedule between the Kings Lioneers and Pilots Braves. And while the standings have some distance between all teams, you definitely feel that the energy and the conversation about all teams is still kind of up in the air. We got just under halfway the season left to go.
Yeah, again, I think we mentioned before the game, nobody's really given up on the playoffs, and I think one of the teams probably paying the most attention to this game was the Lioneers. With Oscar being out, the Dreamers on a little bit of a roll. I'm sure they're feeling a little bit of pressure to keep that 4th spot.
So finally back to the weekend scheduling. It's Kings Lioneers in the afternoon game for the Lioneers' only home game of the weekend. A little bit of a rarity there. And the Braves have a day on where they play Sunday, day off, and then have a Tuesday night matchup. And so as the Plus League schedule marches on, we still have a lot to figure out about all teams, as they really can't even say that they get to gear up for the playoffs. They really need to stack those wins, as Coach Marchand said, whatever time of the season it is.
Yeah, again, with so many games against the same opponents, again, every game becomes the most important game of the week. So again, lots of games to watch the rest of the season for all the fans of the cluster.
So on behalf of the 6 teams and the league operations, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.